Let's take a look at how we use SPSS to compute the regression line. These are similar to the F ratio and other statistics we have calculated in that you would not want to calculate them by hand. What we have here is the average response time or time spent on each question and the number that the student got correct. So what we're going to do is we are going to use this and create a regression equation that will predict the response time or average time per question based on the number correct. In this case, the number correct is the independent variable and the time is the dependent because we're looking to see what's the average time based on the number they got correct. To do this, we will go up to our Analyze menu and go down to Regression. Once in Regression, we're going to choose Linear. Now we need to choose our dependent and independent variable. In this case, time is the dependent variable because we're looking to predict the time per question based on the number correct. So I will move time to dependent and number correct to the independent variable. Once we click OK, we will see a partial regression output. If you'd like to see more, we need to play with some options. While you may be looking at this where we could choose F values and other options, we are not actually going to create the graph under options. Other students look for the graph under plots. The plots actually create a different type of plot that we don't look at in this particular course. So we're not going to create a plot within the actual regression option. We're going to hit OK first and get our regression output that provides us information about the model and how this is created. For example, we can see the R-squared value of 0.031, and we have talked about R-squared and R in the past. And we can also write a regression equation. We have our constant and our number correct. And we'll talk about that in a moment in terms of how to write an equation and how we can use this. Before we talk about that, let's create a scatter plot just to have a visual of the information. So we're going to take a look at the Graphs menu and go down to Legacy Dialogues and look at creating a scatter or a dot plot. In this case, we are going to create a simple scatter plot. And we will hit Define. And we will choose the Y and the X axis. Please remember that the Y axis is the dependent variable and the X axis is the independent. So in this case, the Y axis is the time and the X axis is the number correct. Because we are looking to predict the time based on the number correct. Once you hit OK and create the graph, we can edit this to add a regression line. Simply double-click on the graph, and this will bring up our chart editor in a separate window. In order to add a regression line, we want to click on the little button that looks like this, the chart with the line on it. Once you do that, options will appear. We're going to choose a linear regression line and hit Apply. Now when I look at my graph, you will notice I have a linear regression line along with its equation, so I may use this for predictive purposes. Also, up in the upper right-hand corner, I'll see the R-squared for that linear regression line.